here with Joe Cribbs, one of my best friends, dearest friends, and he's a double teammate because we were at Auburn University together. Then Joe was drafted in 1980 to second round to the Buffalo Bills, and lo and behold, 81, I come right behind him and I get drafted to Buffalo, and so we end up being teammates double time, man. And so we've known each other for years. I've had a chance to watch you, Joe, from a college perspective and see how you developed and grew and really became just a phenomenal football player, man. And, it was a lot of going on at that time when we were at Auburn. And I think one of the biggest things that really motivated you was a guy by the name of James Brooks showing up and everybody talking about how great he was. And he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I think you said, okay, let's see what you got. And both of y'all went for 1,000 yards in the same season. And I'm standing over there waiting for somebody to throw me a pass.
Well, I tell everybody when they start talking about, my college career. And you're right, James had a great impact on my career when he came in because we as athletes, we thrive on competition.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna tell you something. He was as competitive or more competitive as I was.
Yeah.
I mean, we both wanted it and we wanted it bad.
Yeah.
I always thought James was like, when he first got to Auburn, I thought he was just a talker, I thought that was all it was. But the first time I saw him on the field that spring, we were in spring practice, and he took a punt, and he made a couple of quick moves on the guys coming at him, the gunners coming. He made those miss.
It was gone.
He ripped it up the side and made a couple other guys miss and took it to the house about 70-something yards.
Yeah.
That's when I knew.
Yeah.
I said, I gotta work.
It wasn't just that punt thing. I think if I can remember correctly, man, he had if I can remember correctly, he took the first play from scrimmage to the house. He took the first play and everybody thought it was a fluke, okay? Everybody thought, okay,
right.
All right, okay. He kind of got around, he made it happen and stuff. But he came back the very next series and they gave him the ball again and he went to the house again. And I heard Dal Sheely say, I thought that's what was going to happen. And so I was like, okay.
Well, there's I can kind of vaguely remember kind of the start. I gotta say everything is not 100% clear, but I do remember when Coach Barfield came into me. Now this was later on in our career because James got there as a freshman. I was a sophomore. And I actually, as a sophomore, I think I set the sophomore rushing record for or whatever. But anyway, after that, coming into my junior year, we were alternating. I mean, Coach Barfield was playing us. I started, but he would play. James was coming in. We kind of rotated around, moved us around.
Battling, man.
But going into that senior year, which was the year that I had all that build up for my junior year.
Yeah.
Going into my senior year, and I'm expected to do a lot of good things.
Oh yeah.
I was a candidate, for the Heisman, all that kind of stuff, all that talk. And Coach Barfield in the spring, Coach Barfield brought me into his office and he said, Joe, he said, I've got to get you and James in the backfield together.
Yeah.
And he said, because you're a little bigger than he is, I want to move you to fullback. And play you guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, Byron, hey, that was a pill to swallow right there. I'm telling you, I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna be lined up at fullback. We're gonna be lined up in the eye.
You're gonna be blocking.
I'll be blocking on these linebackers and cutting these ends and all that. And I was like, I wasn't too thrilled with the idea initially.
Yeah.
But Coach Barfield, you know, I mean, you remember Coach Barfield. He had this calm.
Yeah.
He was like the
we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it done.
He was like the ideal Southern gentleman. I mean, you know, like he was everything you read about in terms of calm and the way he talked.
Yeah. And
so he said, Joe, he said, look, he said, what we gonna do now? I don't want you to think that we're gonna be putting you in fullback the block.
Yeah.
He said, our fullback's gonna run the ball because we're gonna go to a split set. We're gonna run the veer.
Yeah.
And he said, you're gonna get your carries. He said, and you're gonna get an opportunity to catch some passes.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't realize I didn't catch any passes, but it worked out. So he told me that he was gonna go to split backs. He said, when we're getting in short yardage, when we go to the eye, he said, we're going to move James. We're going to take James out. We're going to put you in the tailback, and we're going to bring a true fullback in to lead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he gave me the answers that I needed, and I accepted it. And I think James and I went on, that's my senior year. I think we were the first tandem.
Both rush for 1,000.
To both rush for 1,000 yards, and that was a big accomplishment back then. You know,
it was awesome.
And I keep thinking about it though. I remember my senior year, if I'm not mistaken, my senior year, Charles White, who just passed away a few weeks ago. Actually, I don't know if you know that, but
I didn't know that. Yeah,
but he passed away a few weeks ago. He won the Heisman.
Yeah.
My junior year, Billy Sims won the Heisman.
Yeah.
And so, but those guys were like solo backs.
Right. I mean, they didn't alternate with anybody. They were highlighted.
I mean, that's right. White had about 1,800 yards rushing.
Yeah.
You know,
you had that, and you were rotating with James.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you took James' yardage and my yardage and put them together, that's over 2,000.
Right.
Well, even if you cut a little bit of that off, we still gonna be competitive.
Right.
But I always like to look back and think, what if James wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I was the only one in that backfield, I might have had a trophy.
Well, what if they threw the ball to Byron Franklin and he would have got drafted in the first round?
hey, I went to Auburn because I knew they were gonna run the ball. But you're right though. We didn't throw the ball. When I got to Buffalo, you know, I caught 50, 54, 55 passes in Buffalo as a rookie.
Yeah.
I was like third or fourth on the team.
Watch this.
Receiving.
Watch this. At Buffalo, you played 1980 to 88 during your career with the Birmingham Stallions, Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts, Miami Dolphins, and San Francisco. You ran for 7,870 yards in your career on 1,873 attempts, scoring 42 touchdowns, and you caught 304 passes for 2,986 yards and 21 receiving touchdowns. I didn't do that as a receiver. I didn't do that as a receiver, man.
But listen, I didn't know. I did not know that I could be used as a receiver.
Right.
Because at Auburn, you know, Auburn did not only
we didn't throw the ball.
They didn't throw to the backs. They didn't throw to the wide receiver. They didn't throw to nobody. Hey, I used to tell the only passes Auburn's quarterbacks threw were laterals. They were like pitches back.
Yeah, that was the pass. Yeah.
Running option.
So I'm gonna say this: at Auburn, you had 657 carries for 3,368 yards, 5.1 average, and you scored 34 touchdowns. You had 30 receptions for 268 yards and 8.9 on average and 1 touchdown. So really, to be honest with you, you had only 10 less receptions than I did in 4 years.
Wow.
So I only caught 40 something passes, Joe, in 4 years. So
I can't believe that.
Yeah,
I can't believe
oh no. So we've talked around it, and I want to kind of drive us into what I kind of call for, because my theme for our connection today is the audible, and your career was outstanding. Matter of fact, when I looked at it, man, I said, man, Joe should be up for the Hall of Fame, man. You should be in. Somebody should be talking or getting your name in the list, man, for Hall of Fame, because I know there were some greater highlighted guys, but if you look at your numbers, man, the ratio, you had like a Marshall Faulk kind of career. You caught, because Marshall Faulk was in the greatest show on turf.
Right.
Where that thing was being flipped and thrown everywhere, man. It was all over the place. And so they used Marshall. But I think when you came in to the league, it was really kind of unheard of to throw the ball to the back the way you were getting the ball, man. They were throwing the ball to you. You were splitting two deep safeties and going down the middle like a receiver.
And that was the thing. They were throwing the ball to me down the field.
It wasn't swing passes, man. They were throwing they were throwing balls down the field of you in routes, man. And that's why I always say that you were just the most unique guy playing in the game, because you were a matchup nightmare, man. Normally when a back is coming out of the backfield, no man alive, baby, no man alive. You a nightmare matchup, because you literally could go down the field and catch the ball like a wideout, but you had running back skills. So you understood the whole what I call the little tandem competition between you and linebackers. You understood how to work that thing, but you also understood how to once you cross 15, once you cross 5 yards to 10 yards downfield, linebackers in trouble.
Yeah,
they ain't used to covering past 10 yards.
Yeah, a lot of linebackers, they used to use this what I call a hug technique.
Yeah.
And what they would do is, like, even though I would have a release, or I got an assignment to pick them up on a blitz.
Yeah.
What they would do is they didn't want me to come out for a pass.
Right.
So they would kind of like pretend like they're rushing.
Right.
So that I'd have to stay in and block them.
Yeah.
So they was hugging me.
Yeah.
But every now and then we come up with that free release where I don't have that linebacker, and he's trying to hug me. He bluffs like he's rushing, and I release, and he's already 2 or 3 steps behind me.
So it's over.
Yeah, so I didn't think, to be honest with you, I don't think there was any linebacker in the NFL during my era that could cover me on. We had a play called 90 halfback option.
Yeah, you had
option.
I
don't think anybody, any linebacker in the league at that time could cover me on that route.
They were too big.
Yeah, and the only reason that play is going to get stopped is if the quarterback gets too much pressure, or he throws the ball away.
Yeah, it's a missed throw. Yeah, because you were doing then, and I have to give K Stevenson a little credit. We started the 4 wide receiver thing. We were a part of that whole innovative process.
Well, the shotgun.
Yeah, the shotgun.
K was there with Chuck. When Chuck put the shotgun in, everybody was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, because we were ground Chuck, baby. With Roosevelt leaks.
We went from like they went from being a hard nosed, run the ball first mentality, to, hey, we're gonna spread you out and see what you can do.
That's right. And so I give him credit for being innovative and pushing that whole innovation to go to 4 wide. He even went to 5 wide a couple of times. And so So you were being used then. We talking 1980,
Yep. That was
81,
80,
82, 83,
81.
84. You were being used in 81 and 80 and 81 like they're literally using backs today.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
they use you then like they use backs today. And they're throwing that thing everywhere, man. So
Yep.
the defense had not caught up to that. They wasn't even ready for that, man. So you
Yeah,
basically you had
and
them at a disadvantage.
it was kind of the tip of the iceberg because I think they were still developing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
plays for me to
Coryell,
come out of the backfield.
yeah,
But see
yeah,
now today they've got the coordinators, they've got a whole, I mean, that's a whole scheme now
yeah,
that they put
yeah.
in. If you got a back that
Everybody's
fits that,
small now. Everybody's
yeah,
small. Backs are small. Linebackers are small. You had to get all these little people in there because it's a speed game.
yep,
It's a pass game, and so most teams have gotten away from hard nosed grind out football, and that's why Henry was so successful when he got in the league because what the Titans did was they just reverted back to old school pound football. Well, the defenses weren't, they all set up to go for
set up,
passes
play,
and
stop
spread.
pass.
And all of a sudden, here come this 245, 50-pound dude that's 6'4" coming out the backfield. They didn't have no answer for it. So they've had
No
to
answer.
adjust.
Yeah,
They've adjusted to him now.
right.
But initially they didn't. What I want to do this because, man, you and I can talk. We could go on
Yeah, football.
for football, we could talk for hours and hours. I won't be able to chop
No
this thing
question.
down to no 20 minutes.
No question.
So this is what I want to do. We had a conversation yesterday, and I was telling you about how I'll talk to you about how me and Andre Reed talked about the fact that when I saw him over in Atlanta and I walked up to him and we were in training camp together, and so a little kid walked up and said he wanted his autograph, and he pointed at me and said I should get his autograph, and he said to me, "What did your name used to be?" And I thought it was just so it was one of the most let's see, what's the word? I think it was one of the most startling moments of my life
Awakening.
after football because it hit me between the eyes that I'm no longer that guy.
Yeah.
And so I realized I had to make an adjustment. And our segment was called the outlet. I had to come up with a safety valve and an outlet to come up with something because what I was doing wasn't going to work. Where I was and what I had been doing as far as who I was wasn't going to translate into where I was going. So I had to come up with an outlet to get out and come and find me a safety valve. For you, it's almost the same thing. This segment is called the audible. And in life, I think we as football players realize sometimes, you know what? I've come up to the line of scrimmage of life and I'm looking around and seeing what's going on. I got to check out of this play. I got to check out of this for me personally. I'm talking about you personally. Were there any times when you said to yourself, man, I got to check out of the play that I have called for life right now? Because this play right here going to run me right into the teeth of the defense, and it's not going to work. So you got any situations where you had to check out of a play of life?
Well, I mean, there's been several situations where I've been, I won't say disappointed totally.
Yeah.
But there's been situations like I can remember several times where I felt like that, if I mention my name or drop my name, that I might get, a little more consideration or whatever. Nothing's free or anything. I understand that, but maybe like get a little move up on the list to get to a table or get to, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember a couple of times where I have actually gone to things that I think most guys would be recognized at, like if I was going, for example, if I was going back to Auburn, my alma mater, and and I feel like I might have a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
But I have had situations where, who are you? and I would tell them who I was,
And they
and they
still
would
didn't
go
know.
back, and they go back down and start looking through their stuff and say, Mr. Cribs, you're not on this.
How'd that make you feel?
So,
Now, how'd that make you feel,
so,
really, realistically?
well, it make you feel that you're a little bit irrelevant now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, and I accept that. I know, this is a who's up. This is the next. We talk about next generation. This is the new generation of athletes, and so most of these young people are not going to know the past. I mean, you start thinking about it, Byron. We played in Buffalo. I mean, that was, what is it, 40 plus years ago.
That's crazy.
There are a lot of 20-year-olds, 25
They have no idea.
That have no idea who we are, what we did. Right. And to be honest with you, they don't really think about it. They don't think about it that way.
No.
So usually, and in fairness to them, it's usually someone that's not really athletic. Yeah. Not, they're not probably into sports or anything like that. Yeah. And they just don't have any idea who we are as athletes. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I've accepted the fact that I'm no longer an athlete. Yeah. I'm a grandfather. Yeah. I'm a husband. Yeah. I'm a father, and I think we kind of like we may want to hold on to that other stuff, but I think we have to accept that at some point in time. Is that that's good? Hey, I'm gonna be a fan. I'm just gonna be a fan. I'm just I go to Auburn. I may go back to Buffalo. Yeah. And they sometimes they have special things where they treat us special, but usually I go back. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. I want to see the game like everybody else. I want to see them do good. Yeah. If I'm at Auburn, I want to see Auburn win. It doesn't matter. I don't need to be recognized. I don't need I don't need any special treatment. Yeah. I feel like, if they want to, they can, but I don't need it. I think that right there in that place, man, what you're talking about, I think that you have because you've had a chance to kind of see guys and be around guys. I think that place right there where you just talked about, I think is one of the most difficult places for us. When I say us, I mean lifers. I think, and I call us lifers because we did it from the Sandlot to Pee-wees, from Pee-wees to middle school, junior high, from junior high to middle school, from middle school all the way to high school, from high school to college, from college to pros, and on into it several years. I call us lifers because we did that for the most of our life. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit that. And so that's an identity that we have. Yeah, that we know it. Yeah, but everybody else doesn't know that. But I think the two at the same time, like you said, we know it. But if we're not able to make a play call, if we're not able to check off at the line of scrimmage and say, you know what, like you just said, your checkout of the play is this. Well, that was my checkoff, baby. That was my checkoff. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your checkout of the play is, hey, I'm a father. That's right. I'm a husband. That's right. I'm a grandfather. That's right. I'm an influencer. Yep.
I'm a guy who got.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. Okay, see, that's checking off at the line of scrimmage, man. Because most of us, we gonna run that play into the teeth of the defense, man. we ain't gonna shift that. And that's what, let me tell you what, that's what some teams do. That's what Buffalo did this weekend. They ran into the teeth of the defense and they didn't check out. They didn't check out of what they were doing.
They made no adjustments.
They made no adjustments. Our lives, and that's what this is about. This is what the shoulder pad is about, man. It's about us as guys who knew and recognized we got to do something different because what we've been doing ain't going to translate into everyday life. Ain't nobody gonna let us carry the ball out here. Ain't nobody gonna throw no pass to us. We can't.
I mean, it's like you said, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. It just, I mean, how can you? It just doesn't.
It's not in this arena. Not in this arena.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think football. I think sports in general.
Yeah.
I think it's always a question of making adjustments.
Yeah.
And if you can't make adjustments, first of all, if you can go in and just do your thing, which we used to could do that, I can remember back when I first started playing football, I just run over people.
Yeah.
I mean, I was bigger than most of them. I would just run over them, drag them into this. That's when I was playing Pee-wee and all that, just getting started.
Not at all.
But as the growth and as the time went on, bigger players, some players even fast as I was, so it became a little more competitive. So you have to make adjustments to account for that. So, as athletes, the process. I don't want to get in wasting a lot of time talking about how we learn how to make them miss and all that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you make adjustments. And I think all through life, we continue to make adjustments, not only through our athletic career, but through our personal lives. Yeah. I mean, overcoming, missteps, making adjustments, taking aside, taking a step back to the side to go forward. We make adjustments all our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people who can navigate and make those kind of adjustments are the people who are successful.
That's right.
And so all we do is just, as long as we got a little life left in us and opportunity to breathe, we just keep making those adjustments and trying to get it right.
Yeah.
And that's me.
I think that's so true, man. And I think for me, my faith, obviously, making a transition and becoming involved in ministry, and that has given me a portal to looking outward and still seeing future. And whereas, it's kind of crazy for a person that's 64 going on to be 65, still anticipating things that can happen out. And so for me, look,
it should be like that. You should be, because there's still, I still think the better days
are ahead.
For Byron Franklin are ahead of. I have followed you. I have followed you since you were a freshman at Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known the ups, I've known the downs, I've known the ins, I've known the outs.
Yeah.
We've been there, as brothers almost for a long time. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned earlier in the show about, getting drafted, me getting drafted, and you getting drafted by Buffalo, and the double career, from Auburn to Buffalo. Yeah. But not only that, I decided I wanted to live in Birmingham for a while. I lived in Birmingham. You moved to Birmingham.
Right.
So we've had a lot of time, and personally, I probably haven't told you this. Yeah. I don't think I have anyway, but man, I have so much respect for you
Oh,
just because I know your past,
yeah.
and I know where you are now.
Yeah.
And man,
It's crazy.
it's a blessing, and it's like, yeah, this was my teammate,
Yeah.
but now this is my friend and my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it.
I appreciate you telling me that, man, because it's really a blessing. I'm gonna tell you a story. We got 1,000
We
of them, but
got we
I
don't want
can't.
to get it. We
There's some I
got,
can't. Some we can't put on the podcast, and we'll
that's
have to
right.
rate it. But I'll never forget this, man. We were this was when we were in Buffalo. You had that Peugeot, and we were downtown. We were riding through downtown, and we went through a drive-through to get something to eat or something like that. And we were headed out, and I looked out and I saw on the sidewalk. I said, "Hey, Joe, stop, man! I see some shades out there on the sidewalk." And you said, "Byron, you're a professional football player, man. You ain't got no business getting no cheap shades off the sidewalk, man. You can buy your own shades." So I said, "Oh, dog, man. Okay, I guess you're right."
Hey, so I was making you make that adjustment.
Yeah, so you were making me play at the line of scrimmage. I had to change my mindset, man. I saw some shades, man. I'm gonna get them shades.
Hey,
So our lives, yeah, we have had we've had some great experiences and some life-changing moments that we have and experienced together. And man, it's just been a blessing, man, Joe, to watch you and see you, how you have made the adjustment and change, and you've got business, done business stuff, you've done personal stuff, personal business, and I've seen you really go out and do some things to adjust, and you've had challenges, with your wife and having health stuff, and sat with her and nursed her through things. And then your kids, we talked about it a little early, but your kids have all gone on to do great things, and they're doing great things now, and you're proud of them. And so all of that is just a part of the experience that you've had that have really been, a model for, like you said, a lot of people. They don't even know who we are now, man. That's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's been 40 years. I tell you what's crazy. It's crazy to think that there have been 40 drafts since we got drafted. Almost 40 drafts since we got drafted, man. And
actually, I think there's been more than 40.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's been more than 40.
It's been almost 50, huh?
Yeah, it's approaching 50. I mean,
that was
80.
That's right.
You was drafted in 81.
Yep.
So I was drafted in 80.
That's crazy. So it's been more than it, almost 50 drafts. But so my hat's off to you, man, for calling the right plays at the line of scrimmage and adjusting. It's about making changes on your, on your feet, on the fly, we used to call it.
Right.
A lot of this, we got to make changes on the fly, man. We don't have time to sit back and go through a long, drawn out thinking process and stuff. Sometimes we got to trust what's been poured into us, and trust the foundation that we have, and pull and draw from things that we've been given in order to be able to have confidence to make those decisions, man. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for saying what you said, because it's always a blessing for me to hear that my life has made some sort of impact, not just in my own house, but with around the people that I've been around. I told Andre Reed this. I said, man, 3 of the people that impacted my life the most are John Starworth, Ozzie Newsome. Those 2 guys really have impacted me the most, because John, I never saw a college football game other than Alabama A&M growing up.
Yeah.
I never saw. I didn't see anybody else, man. I saw HBCU, baby.
Yeah, but those are two great guys.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
I say great guys, I'm not talking about athletically.
No,
Those are two great guys. I
phenomenal
mean,
guys.
yes.
So I'm like, man, okay, I'm the third wide receiver out of that group. I can't sit down. I got a lot of work to do. Both of them guys, Hall of Famers, they businessmen, they professionals, they are thought of in every arena of life as some of the most.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I know I'm cutting you off,
No,
but is that why you wear the 82? Was that why you picked 82? Because don't both of those guys wear 82? Wore
they do.
82?
But let me tell you, okay, you want the history? The history on Byron Franklin in 82.
Yeah.
First of all, Joe, you probably don't even know this, but I was a running back in high school.
I didn't know that either.
When I got signed to Auburn, I was a running back. I got moved to wide receiver at Auburn. I had never played wide receiver before in my life.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't visually see you as a running back. I know you can run with the ball.
Let me tell you what. When I got to Auburn, I didn't visually see myself as no running back either. I said, no, I'm going. Well, because I ran the 40 in 4.3 seconds, brother. I said, I'll be glad to go out there because I'm looking at these linebackers. I'm looking at these defensive ends, and I'm looking at these strong safeties. I'm like, man, I don't want none of that. I'm gonna move out here to the flanks, man, because I can handle that. So yeah, I was a running back in high school, and I rushed for over 2,000 yards in my senior year, and
that's a lot of yards.
I rushed for over 2,000 yards in my senior year. My greatest game in high school was I rushed for 271 yards on 8 carries.
Wow. 8 carries.
8 carries. And I didn't even play in the second half. And so
who y'all playing?
Oh yeah, see, that's what you want to say. We weren't playing nobody. Hey, I ain't saying
we gotta always check each other, you know.
I ain't saying I was playing against an all-state team. Now I ain't say that, but I am saying it's still hard to get 271 on 8. I don't care who you playing against.
Hey, well, I'm from the same part of Alabama. I'm up in that Northwest, so I know there's some schools up there that you can run. You can run against.
Hey, like what Chuck used to say, we were playing against Strictly, or what was that? What he said? We were playing against the Little Sisters of the Poor or something like that. Third grade Strictly. We were playing against third grade Strictly.
But I'm gonna tell you, that's why I always say these people are there's a lot of people that like to bet and all that kind of gamble on games and that stuff. Not really something that I would advise anybody to do. But in the NFL, you can't. I don't think they make these lines and everything, and sometimes they're right. Most of the time they're wrong.
Yeah.
But everybody in the NFL is good.
Everybody.
I think you definitely can agree with me on that.
Everybody
in the NFL is good. Most of them now are great.
Yeah.
Most of them have experienced, greatness when they were in college and they, so all these guys can play. And then to have success amongst them.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't assume that just because this team over here is undefeated, winning there, that this team can't beat it because they can't.
Right.
Because they can't.
Any given day.
That's exactly right.
Any given day, man. That's right.
The ball, I tell everybody, I say, look, in most football games, you look at the turnovers.
Yeah.
And usually the team with the most turnovers usually lose.
Or penalties. Yeah.
Turnovers and penalties. That's the key.
Yeah. Most games, I'm trying to think of who said this, and it was so right. most games are given away, not lost.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
games are given away, and then there are 3 plays. If you go back through any football game, there are 3 plays that made the difference. You just don't know where those 3 will be.
Exactly.
But there are 3 plays that'll make them. So we've had some great experiences, Joe. And I always say this. I always say that in the NFL, every guy that's in the NFL has some unique quality that makes them freakish. In some capacity, in some way, it's something about them that not anybody else has related to their skill set. Like, okay, right. I was 6'1.5". I weighed 180 pounds soaking wet, but I ran the 40 in 4.3 seconds. Yep. It ain't a whole lot you can do with that. You can back off, but if you by yourself and you ain't got no help, I'm gonna run right by you.
But I still think that it's great to have the physical skills. Yeah. The physical skills, definitely, you got to have some of them. Yeah. Got to have some of them. Yeah. But you got to have the heart. You got
tenacity.
That won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something about, I know guys that are competitive. Yeah. That have that heart. Yeah. And I'm telling you, those are the kind of guys I would live and die for. Yeah. Because those are the guys that are going to make a difference. Yeah. Yeah. I hate losing. I hate losing today. Yeah. And I've done a lot of losing in my life. I'm gonna tell you that. Yeah. True. I ain't been a winner. I've lost a lot of. I still have some games that give me trouble. Yeah. When I start thinking about past, college and pro. College and pro.
I don't do it.
And
try to stay out of there.
You have to kind of accept those. Yeah, but you always, it never dies. That competitiveness never dies.
Yeah. So, I think it's for me, I feel like a lot of times I try not to go back and look back. I really do, man, because I feel like in a lot of ways I left a lot of things on the table, whether it was work ethic or whether it was making the wrong decision or whether it was doing things that took away from my ability more than put on my ability, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I try not to go back because what I'm really trying to do, man, is be thankful and grateful, first of all, that I made it through it.
Yeah.
And secondly, that I'm having an opportunity now to make decisions and to work and do things that I can do something about that can affect my future, and can affect where I'm going. So I think that's for me is that's what I'm doing, man. And even with this, the shoulder pad, I think this is the whole premise behind the shoulder pad is for guys like you and me to come on here and say some things and talk about some things that's really can help somebody in everyday life, just regular people in everyday life. Yeah. If they hear this, they can say, oh, wow, I'm dealing with that. And I didn't even play professional football. I'm dealing with that. I didn't even have to go to that. So we're all having to do what I call going through the process of learning to recreate ourselves and redevelop and retool and refix and refashion ourselves. Because like you say, we're always coming to a place of needing to make and do change. And so I'm gonna stop it here, man, because I already got to try to edit 40 minutes of talking into 20 minutes. But I appreciate you coming on, man. And I'm sure. Fun. Yeah, I'm gonna do. We talk to our guys. One of the things that our guys are doing is we're doing this Zoom where we got all our guys, Radar and JB and all them guys. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a way to bring all of us on the shoulder pad, man. And I don't know if we'll ever survive that.
Oh man, you better do a 4-hour show. It's gonna be like
We're talking about some great relationships and great characters. But Joe Cribs, man, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and thank you so much for coming on, man, and being just a great host guest. that I'm able to host, man. And congratulations to you and your family. And thank you for coming on to the shoulder pad, man.
Thank you, man. That's all I can say is thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I always got you back.
I got you, man. I appreciate you. So you can sign off, and
all right.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
All right, BF. Talk to you later, man.
All right, thank you.